Hey, good morning. Happy Friday, Baby Katan team. This is Kristin and Jamie with
Hi.
Baby Katan, and we are super excited. We're going to do a little Fit Check Friday series with you. So if you guys are here, throw us a like, so hey, let us know that you're watching. We're just going to go through a few of the most common questions that people have when they get their Katan, how to use it, which position to start in, and Jamie is like our customer care, Katan care expert, so she's going to walk you through some of the more common questions that she sees so that when you actually get your carrier, you're feeling super confident on how to get started.
Perfect.
So first and foremost, what you're going to notice is when you're picking out your Katan that there's multiple sizes available, and size is super important. So you want to make sure that you're choosing the right size for you. And the first way that you can do that is by going to babykatan.com and checking out the sizing calculator.
Exactly. And if you don't want to do that, give me a call.
Yeah, Jamie's even like more. She's like your personal sizing calculator. But prior to getting there, if you're just trying to figure out what to put on your registry or how to make this work, you're going to check out that part. So I'm going to give you a little bit of background on me. My very first carrier 8 years ago was a Baby Katan, and everyone says, oh, it's going to fit like a t-shirt, it's going to fit like a t-shirt. So I was like, okay, I'm going to pick my t-shirt size. So I chose a large. That is not my size. And so when I started wearing my carrier, I felt like it just was not as supportive as I wanted it, because you want it to fit snug, right?
You want that baby high where the baby's visible and kissable. You don't want to wear that baby down here. You want that baby's head, and we'll get into that in a moment, but you want to be able to bend down and kiss the top of that baby's head.
Yes, that's like Babywearing 101. It's visible and kissable. So what I like to tell people is you want baby's head to end up somewhere near your collarbone.
Correct.
Because where my collarbone is versus where your collarbone is, it's a little bit different for everybody. So where you put your baby on your body is going to justify where the carrier fits on you.
Correct.
So a little bit about me. So I'm 5'10", I'm very tall, and I usually wear like a medium large in shirts because I'm also very long torsoed. So if I were to look at that, I would naturally think, okay, I'm going to wear like a size medium. But that's not what we're looking for. We're not looking for t-shirt size. What are we really looking for?
Well, we ask about dress size for women, and one of the reasons are because we're sizing you above your waist because you're wearing your baby above your waist. So a lot of times a dress size is more accurate than a t-shirt size, even though we mentioned that it fits you like a t-shirt. Mm-hmm. Sometimes the size is confusing with that. If you are, like you said, you wear a medium shirt, but I look at you and you're a size small to me.
So I'm a small.
You are.
So that's what we're going to do is we're going to put on the small Katan Breeze, and all of the carriers will have the same fit and features. It's just a little bit of the fabric choices that are different, right? Like, so whether I get the Breeze, the Active, the Original, they're all the
Any
same.
of our prints? For sure.
Okay.
I mean, it's the same 5 wearing positions for each carrier. The only thing that's different is the fabric.
Okay, perfect. So what do you love most about the Breeze?
I love the Breeze because it's 100% cotton.
Mm.
I mean, I love our Active, which is polyester, but I just love a cotton fabric.
Yes, nice
So,
and breathable,
yes.
especially this time of year.
Yes.
So the great thing about it is the Katan is a relatively affordable price point. So it's something that families that have multiple caregivers can buy one for each caregiver, maybe a couple for each season. So if you want something that's a little bit lighter, a little bit more breathable for summer, you could do something like the Breeze.
Correct.
And then something a little bit more cozy, a little bit more snuggly, you could do like the Original, which is 100% cotton.
Yes.
So there's options for everybody, and it just really depends on your personal style preference, which fabric
Exactly.
works for you.
With the Breeze, it's the best of all worlds because it's a little bit more breathable. It's the soft cotton, like I mentioned, so you have half the loop is a solid cotton while the other half is a mesh cotton.
Perfect. So we know a lot of our families have carriers that have been gifted to them, whether it's off of their registry or from another friend or family member. So I want to show you guys really quick. If you're trying to figure out what size your Katan is, you're going to look at the small loop that connects your 2 big loops. If you flip that inside out, you're going to see right there on the label where your size is. So that's really important if you're trying to figure out, like, or if you just stuck this in your closet after your first one and you've forgotten what it's like, check it out and check out what that size is to make sure that you're using the right one. So,
I do get a lot of phone calls and emails saying, I forgot what size my carrier is.
Yes.
Where do I find that?
Yep,
So,
exactly. Okay, so first and foremost, we're going to do the hug position. So I am a trained baby-wearing educator, and a lot of the modern baby-wearing information is that your baby can be legs out from birth if that's most comfortable for them. So what I always tell people is when you're trying to figure out is which position to start with, hold your baby. hold your baby and just kind of see what they do. If they like to curl up in a ball, then the kangaroo position is great because it keeps them legs in.
Exactly.
But if they like to stretch out or the kangaroo position is no longer comfortable for them, they start kicking up, pushing down their legs, they can move right to the hug position,
Correct.
right? And both can start right at birth.
Correct. We generally would say 1 to 2 months for that hug position, but there are some babies that come out with their arms stretched, their legs stretched, and they are done with that little newborn.
Well, that was my third. So my third was 11'4" and like 23 inches. So
Oh my
she
gosh.
was a monster, and there's no way she was going to be a kangaroo on me at all. She's like, nope, legs out, let's do this. So we're going to show you the hug position because this is going to work for 90% of your baby wearing experience, especially with a baton. So you want to just show me how to do it? This is the very first couple steps you're going to take when using your baton.
So I'm not sure if most of you have this or not, but what I like to show everybody is basically how it is. So it's 2 large loops connected by this single loop, okay? So when I tell people how to put it on, this is how I demo putting it on.
And as the expert and resident like Katan care person, and how long have you been with the company?
I've been with them a little over 4 years.
Exactly. So this is your girl. If you have any questions on what to do, how to do, any troubleshooting, or just like, please let me know that I'm not alone on this journey. Jamie is your girl.
I'm here.
So
I will walk you through it.
And she's
'cause
at babykatan.com, so you can always
Exactly.
reach her that way. But
Perfect.
anyways, I'm sorry, go on.
So I tell people to put it on, think of it like an infinity scarf just going on like this. And then we're gonna spread it, and this is where we're gonna put our arms through. So I'm gonna let you do it.
Okay.
And so put it on
we're gonna
as an
put it
infinity
over.
scarf. Yep. And then you're gonna
spread
spread your
super
arms.
fashionable
There you
right
go.
now. Okay. So I wanted you to show me a little bit about this.
So sometimes when people get the carrier and they find that it's too tight,
Show you what we're talking about. There's a
this is the
seam
thick seam.
right
So
here.
there's a thick seam that connects the loop. And it doesn't really matter placement, but a lot of times people get their carrier and they think it's too snug when it is the right size. And I give you some stretching tips and techniques. What I like to tell people when they put your arms through, like you're putting on the shirt. So sometimes for a better stretch, I like people to rotate that thick seam so it's just behind your shoulder blades.
So what we're doing is we're just rotating these larger loops and putting those large seams that I showed you towards the back. And then this will help you feel a little bit more supportive with your carrier when those seams are on the back, but also give you a lot more flexibility and stretch on the
Yes,
back.
I mean, it doesn't matter once you get the hang of it and you have baby in and you don't need to get that extra stretch. I just find that when you're stretching it the first initial time, that making sure that thick seams behind your shoulder just to get that great
That makes
stretch.
sense.
So,
All right, how do we stretch it?
so I like to tell people to put your arms in like you're putting your arm into a sling. There you go. And just give it a nice push for a good minute. Do you see the stretch?
Look at that.
It really does have some stretch. So
That's the beauty of natural fabrics,
It
right?
is.
It's going to have a little bit of
It
give
does.
to it. So,
It
and these
does.
are machine washable?
They are. I tell people, play around with how you're going to wash it first.
Sorry, my Siri doesn't understand what machine washable means, apparently.
Well,
Pardon
she
that.
wanted to give us the definition right now. So, cool water, light fluff to dry. Some people, if it's really snug and they don't want it to shrink up anymore, just hang it dry, and then the last 5 minutes, 10 minutes of it drying, put it in as a light fluff so it softens up the fabric a little bit.
Perfect. Okay, so we've got it on, we've got it stretched out a
Perfect.
little bit. Next step.
So I tell people to take the loop that's furthest away from your body and just drop it down to your belly.
Okay.
And sometimes, our post-pregnancy bodies, we still don't see that we have hips
Yes.
or belly because there's still that.
Yes.
But it does come down a little bit. It doesn't
Yes.
have to go all the way down as it does.
Yep,
Okay?
I remember when after I had my first, it would just kind of rest on like
Yeah.
that belly that you still have. Because what I loved about these is there's no pressure on your abdomen with them because there's no waistband.
Exactly.
So, but having it kind of drape around like your body here and just kind of hold there is totally normal, totally natural.
Yep.
So let that kind of just rest there. Okay, so now we still have one loop on.
Yep.
And we're doing the hug position.
Yes.
Hug is baby facing you.
Facing you. So I like to tell customers, baby wears, just to put your hand there just for a little bit because it's going to help. So as you bring the baby up, you're going to rest the baby's head on the opposite as this first loop, and then reach in there and bring baby around, and then you're going to shimmy baby over here so this way baby's head is supported. See?
Okay.
Now
And this
you wanna
baby
talk-
here is about like 12, 13 pounds,
Yes.
right? About the size of like an average 2-month-old. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna have baby tummy to tummy with you. You can see that their head is nice and high near my collarbone. Again, that visible and kissable position. And once baby is in here, you're going to see a lot of information about making sure that baby is knee to knee, that the carrier supports the baby's hips. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna get a little bit closer here. I'm gonna show you, we're going to take this fabric and we're going to spread it over the baby's bum and go from knee to knee in the carrier. And you see how that just gives that baby that nice spread squat position, which is a completely natural position for babies to be in. They like to have that support, and then being able to move the carrier that way and customize that fit for the mom and the baby is really what kind of makes this carrier unique, is that you can kind of adjust it based on your needs. So we've got baby through one loop, we've got the coverage going from knee to knee, we've got the back supported. What's next?
So then we're gonna reach down with your arm and we're gonna bring our arm up. Now, do you see how we're doing the complete opposite? So baby's in a seated position in the middle of that X.
So we're gonna do the same thing here, right? We're gonna go right again from knee to knee. So we've got nice coverage supporting baby's bum. We call this M-shaped position. So we've got their bum lower than their knee joints, and they're nice and supportive and in this M shape. Exactly. And then you can see that baby's head is supported by the wrap. And what here, especially with newborns, you always want to make sure that their airway is visible. So how can we make sure that baby's not stuck?
So one of the things that we can do is we can flip the shoulder a little bit right there.
So what we did there, we kind of just capped the sleeve. So we pulled this inside loop, or this inside rail, and we just put it over the sleeve, which moves that away from babies.
And this is what we're talking about with kissable and visible and kissable. So with visible, you want to make sure you see the baby's head face, and that there's nothing blocking baby's breathing area and airway. Thank you. It's early here. And you want to make sure that you can make sure that the baby's neck is not chin to chest.
That's a big one, because you'll notice, especially with a lot of first timers, when you're getting used to how your carrier fits, the baby will kind of like slump in a little bit, or they'll be done nursing and the baby's like, oh, your baby's so cozy, I don't want to move them. You always want to make sure that you have them in that upright position, that they are not chin to chest, and that they have their airway completely visible.
Right.
So
and this is one of the other reasons why having that snug fit is important from the start, because new babies do not have any muscle control or anything like that, so of course they slump a little bit more. So having that snug fit from the start is important for one of those reasons.
And just again, for reference, if you're just tuning in, so I'm about 5'10". Every time somebody asks me what my weight is, my usual response is I just love tacos. So, but for the purpose of the sizing calculator, that is not an option. You cannot just put your favorite
Maybe we should put that on there.
Mexican food on the sizing calculator. So I'm about 160. So having a small on me is nothing that I would ever expected, but my dress size is an 8, so I would fall solidly into that category. So, okay, there's another piece of really crucial advice when you get to this stage of the hug position. So
Correct.
What's next?
So in the hug position, one of the things that we say are feet out, sash on. So
okay. Sounds like a perfect hashtag. So we're gonna start. You're gonna see that a lot more pop up on our social. Is feet out, sash on, so that it starts to get ingrained. You see the baby's feet are outside the carrier.
Yep.
So that means we need the sash on.
So this little handy dandy bag that the carrier came in converts to the sash. So make sure you do not throw that away when you get it. So,
but this is completely replaceable. Another thing that you hear a lot, I'm sure,
yes,
on the
me
team
too.
is that
I love when somebody says, my partner cleaned up and threw the box out and the sash was in it.
Yes, because it just looks like a really cute carrying bag, but it's actually a functional piece of the product.
It is. So. It's really important because in this position, it's open here, so we need to close this up. Okay.
So what that really means is as baby gets bigger and older, because again, you can use this hug position beyond the newborn stage. You're talking 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12 months old. Like I've even put my 2-year-old in this position, right? So you want to make sure that as babies get bigger and busier and they start moving a lot more, that this this pass here is what it's called, is secured. And we do that by using the sash,
That's
right?
it, and that's what you're going to do. So you're going to bring that sash right below baby's nape of the neck, okay? And then you can tie it in the back.
So what we're going to do is we're going to tie it here with just a regular double knot. So we're going to do 1 loop and then we're going to do 2. And if you have that excess fabric, you want to bring it around the front, that's more comfortable for you, it's totally fine, right?
It is.
Whatever works best for you.
I like it underneath the butt here and underneath the baby's legs.
Just adds a little bit more support.
It does.
Yep. So we've got this all tied up and tied in, and look at that. So when you have your legs out of the carrier, whether you're doing the adventure position or adventure.
Adventure.
Right? Yeah,
adventure
or hug. Whenever those legs are out, you always need to make sure you have your sash on. It's not just for looks, because I mean, let's be honest, it's super nice and clean, but it's also for a safety feature. So make sure that you keep that sash handy. Make sure you keep it as a bag to store your carrier in, but then it's also something that you can pull back out when you need
Correct. Yeah.
So again, this is the hug position. This is like 90% of your time using the Katan. You can use this with any age up to birth to 35 pounds.
Right.
This
I mean,
is it.
this is probably the position that you'll use the most. I mean, we have 5 positions, but this is the best napping position ever.
Yes,
So
it's
if
true.
you need to get stuff down, this is it. If you
Yes.
can't put your baby down, baby will be out like a light. I mean, just really, this is.
And it's
The
worth
greatest.
mentioning, it's actually World Breastfeeding Week right now. So World Breastfeeding Week started yesterday and goes through Wednesday. And part of that breastfeeding connection is the bonding, right? It's that generation of the oxytocin. So what's so great about the Katan is that this fits, as we say often, it fits like a t-shirt. You can see that like I'm like completely covered up. This is such an amazing option for skin to skin for new parents, whether it's the mother or the father that's using the carrier. That skin to skin, that bonding, it really helps solidify that breastfeeding connection. So being able to just have a carrier that you can either just wear with your nursing bra or your male partner can use completely shirtless and still feel like you're covered up and supporting and keeping baby nice and snug and warm, the hug position is perfect for that. So we call that the 4th trimester. So you should pop over to our blog if you haven't been on there yet. We've got a lot of information about the bonding piece of it, how to use the carrier, why we chose it, and where the history of the brand is. But if you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the comments. We'll be answering them throughout the day. If you are new to the brand and you're just tuning in, also make sure that you join us on our Facebook group, which is Cuddles and Convos with Katan. And it's a great place to kind of have those one-on-one experiences with the brand, learn a little bit more about the product, ask specific sizing questions, or you can always email the customer service and the customer care team at info@babykatan. But we really want to interact with you more. So leave your comments here. Head on over to the group. Jamie's fantastic. She'll be able to answer any questions that you have. If you have a question, I guarantee you Jamie's heard it and can help you.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for tuning in. We really appreciate it. And stay tuned. Let us know what you want to see from us going forward.
Happy baby wearing.
Thank you.